Here's the engine the customer got me from a junkyard. So I need to put new timing on it, new tensioner guides, new tensioner. So this is your tensioner right here. This is your main chain going around, and like that. And these are your secondary chains behind there. Timing marks, timing mark right there, and oil pump. So I did not recommend oil pump for this guy, although this engine is extremely hard to work on. So I will talk to him if he's interested in keeping this car for long. I'd replace that sucker as well as this water pump here. So if you have a Ford Edge, any Ford with 3.5, there's your water pump behind the timing cover. To get to it, you gotta take the timing cover off, alternator, AC compressor, power steering pump, and then get to this. If you are working on this car, on this engine in the car, well, give yourself a little bit of time because there's not enough space. So it's pretty cramped space. You can definitely do it, but it does take time. When it comes to the camshafts, everything looks clean. We're gonna leave that as is. I'm just gonna put them new plugs. Looks good. And probably I would replace knock sensors. We should replace knock sensors because they're tucked in there. You see where they mounted it? Behind the flywheel. You can get to it from here with this 8mm bolt. There's a shield covering this wire, and there's also a bracket right here from the catalytic converter that's in your way, so you got to remove that bracket to get access to it. It's a pretty tight spot. You can get to it. This is your oil pressure switch, and then your knock sensors are under there. Spark plugs, of course, right here. The power steering pump and the pressure switch for the power steering is mounted on that. This is pretty much what's hidden in the block area. To get to this, you have to remove a lot of parts. Thing I want to show you is if you have all-wheel drive and you want to separate the transmission, you will have to remove the passenger side catalytic converter and the manifold. And that's the hectic part. To get to this section, the catalytic converter is mounted from the bottom up, 4 bolts. Take those out. Then you can get to exhaust manifold bolts, get those out. But before you can even do that, catalytic converter has a brace that mounts here, comes out this way into the catalytic converter. That brace is mounted with two 10mm bolts here, and then the shield has two 10mm bolts in the bolts going from the front. You're going to take those 10 first, then the on top, then remove the brace here, take it off, then you can get to the final bolt for the catalytic converter. Once that is out, you'll take the manifold out. Then you have a transfer case mounted here by these bolts. There's a bracket, and then goes out to the transfer case. You're gonna need to remove that bracket. Then you're gonna need to remove the transfer case. There are 2 bolts at the bottom of the transfer case, 2 bolts on this side from the other side of the transmission housing, and then you can get access to this bolt here. This one is hidden pretty well. You can't get to it. When it comes to the driver's side of catalytic converter, straightforward. It's an easy to remove. You can do that. If you're replacing this catalytic converter while this is in the car, give yourself a lot of hours because that's going to be a headache to get to. On this engine, this is what happened. The whole block blew off. So I'm just going to hitch up the used engine to the hoist and get to the timing cover. I'm going to take out and replace the timing for this customer. But that's what I wanted to show you guys. Now, to get this car out, get to the engine, I did take the subframe with the car, with the engine transmission, and then later I took the axles out, removed that mount in the middle, and separated the subframe. That's the drive shaft and exhaust manifold you gotta disconnect. I left the passenger side bolt mount right here, but the driver side you do have to remove from here and the 3 bolts holding onto the engine, and then slide it out because it will get stuck. Here is your catalytic converter and the bolts I'm talking about. You have to remove to get to these 4 bolts of the converter. Anyway, you do need to get a crankshaft pulley puller to take the pulley out. That's the only way to get to it. Once you get the engine and everything out, that's what it looks like. The harness is tucked away, and then there's the engine harness that I separated already. Only to take the motor out is also taking the motor out of the subframe, and it's extremely heavy. Another part I had to deal with was the engine was locked up, and I couldn't turn it, so I had to remove the oil pan and get all these guts out. Guess what happened to the motor? Everything was broken. I was able to turn the crankshaft to unlock the torque converter bolts. If you're thinking you can just pull the transmission out and leave the torque converter in and deal with it later, don't do that. It's a headache. Just do this. Or remove the oil pan, remove all the bolts for the crankshaft mounts, and then turn the crankshaft. Anyway, this is how this front member comes off with everything on it. That was the least hardest part, but this is your transfer case. It's mounted with, alright, so it's mounted with 2 bolts here, and 1, 2, and 3 bolts here. That's the only way to take it out, otherwise you're not gonna get it removed. That's the second converter I was talking about. 2 of the axles. You can easily get to those with 2 bolts from this side and get the axle out. And that's about it. Now my job is to get a used engine on the hoist, change the timing parts, water pump, and valve cover gaskets and so on, and get this customer a good working car. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next video.